Well, Heidi ho, my peeps. I'm spending another morning in the kitchen. It is 10:44 in the morning, and I am making vegetable-based meat patties and meat crumbles. And this is what it looks like before I cook it. It's kind of kind of looks like ground beef. I'm not averse to eating meat. I enjoy meat. However, I've been trying to figure out how to get more fiber and more vegetable-based food into my gullet. And so I thought I would come up with, or not come up with. I mean, I saw a bunch of videos to figure out how to do this. This is my own version. Anyhow, I thought I would start making some of these kind of veggie patty things. Look at how much it really looks like ground beef in there. Anyhow, I used a lot of different ingredients. I'm going to eat this piece. In these patties and crumble situation. And if you are interested and you want to know how I'm doing it, I will be happy to let you know. Leave a comment and let me know if you want a video on it. Now, well, okay, let's take a little look-see at what I've done since I brought you into my kitchen last week. I took down the curtains, put everything in the dryer with a wet towel or washed it, and I will be doing that for the rest of the curtains in my house as well. Cleaned off the top of the refrigerator. It had been full of stuff. Now it's just got those 2 jars of pumpkin and sunflower seeds. I cleaned out underneath there. It doesn't look clean, but I pulled everything out and washed it. I did a lot of cooking today, but I cleaned the stove, so I'm ready to go. I cleaned out that center screen cupboard as well. Still have to finish taking everything off of my butcher block. I've got things to put away there as well as over there. But I did finish the sink area, and so now we're nice and clean and organized under there. So I'm making progress, feeling good. All that stuff got cleaned off that was on top of that cupboard, as well as that china closet. So things are happening. But what I wanted to show you guys is my wallpaper. Okay, I think I mentioned that, maybe I didn't, I'm going to say it again. I'm tired of using hideously ugly kitchen things. I've got beautiful dinnerware, beautiful pots and pans, beautiful flatware, and why not use it? I mean, seriously. I don't have little kids in my house. I don't have any grandkids. You know, Grant and I are both fumble fingers, but so what? If I break something, I'll just go on replacements and get another. But I wanted to show you once again. Whoops, that's not it. Well, I'll show you this too. I got 12 of these Limoges luncheon plates for 24 bucks at a thrift store in, I think it was Palo Alto, when I was hanging out with Leanne. And I love them and I plan on using them. But this is my dinnerware. It is by Wedgwood. It's called Wild Strawberry. My mom gave me my first 6 place settings when I was 16, on my 16th birthday. She gave me 6 place settings of this china, which I had picked out because I loved it, as well as a cedar chest to put it in. Well, the cedar chest is long gone, although I just acquired another one, which made me feel good. And I've been hauling this china around with me for decades. I mean, literally since I was 16 years old. It has moved to every apartment, to every house. I've only lost one piece. It was the teapot, which I replaced. So, so it's time. It's time. I've reached the fine china era. Okay, so in here, let me tell you what I'm going to do. Okay, so I'm going to wallpaper these walls as far down as a chair rail. And the chair rail will be at about the same height as the sink backsplash, and it's going to go all the way around the room. Well, there's not too many walls to do it on, but wherever there's a full-length wall, it'll go there. And I'm going to do a wainscoting below with a chair rail, and then up above, I'm going to paper everything in wallpaper. So I'm going for that kind of cottage look, and everything including the hallway. That'll all get papered to match. Anyway, so I'm going for that cottage thing, but I'm doing not like the current cottage. I'm going to turn this around so I can talk to you. Okay, so not like the current cottage thing that's so popular, where, or has been, where you use a lot of old stuff that's like rusty, or the paint's chipping off of it, along with, you know, white painted cupboards and little calico curtains and lots of plants and all that. I'm not going to do that aesthetic. What I'm going to do instead is something that looks a little bit more like what was popular in the 1980s, when you thought cottage or romantic or country kitchen. You thought about something that was a little bit more matchy-matchy, where the surfaces were a little bit more a little bit less rustic. A lot of times there would be companion prints of wallpaper and fabric. I mean, it would be the same print, so there was a lot of pattern on pattern on pattern that was identical. That was real popular back then. So I'm kind of leaning more towards that, a little more refined looking. So I got online and I tried to find a companion wallpaper that would go with my china. Something that would just coordinate, right? Like a pink and white stripe, or a pink and green and white stripe, something like that, that would pull out the colors and still look cottagey. Well, take a look at what I found. I mean, hello, it is an exact match. It's even called Wedgwood Wild Strawberry. I mean, that's even the name of this paper. And I had no idea it existed. When I first found it, I could go online and order it from a decorating supply house for $250 a roll. I don't think so. I mean, as great as it is, I just can't justify that kind of a cash outlay for a little bit of wallpaper. So, I mean, even if it was just one roll, it's still more than I wanted to spend. So, me being me, I kept looking and looking and looking. And I found that paper you just saw for $73 a roll out of Great Britain, out of England. I think it's some kind of a clearinghouse, maybe, of decorator wallpapers. It's called Wallpapers of the World. I think that's what it's called. Anyhow, I was just thrilled. So I went to buy it. Then I got a fraud alert coming back. The bank was freaking out because I was trying to buy something from a different country. So I approved that, and then I waited and I thought, oh man, was I just scammed? What am I gonna get? I don't know. I'm kind of worried about this. So when it finally came in, it's the stuff I ordered, exactly what I ordered, in the manufacturer's packaging. So I was thrilled. I want to find out if there's more so that I can, you know, use it in other projects as well. So anyhow, there you go. I'm really looking forward to finally doing this, this kitchen. Although I have to, let me show you the ceilings again. Okay, you can see that there's the, what do you call that? The trim around the ceiling crown molding. The crown molding is kind of weird and doesn't go to all places. You look up here, you see a ton of water damage. That used to be the edge of the trailer. I added on the room in the other place. So this is where the water would come down and infiltrate between the wall and the roof. You can see that I've got a piece of it coming down there. So it's just got to go. It's time to replace it. Let's see, what else can you see? You can see up in there. I think I threw a bunch of glue and crap up there trying to keep it from falling down on my head when I first moved in. So anyhow, ceiling's got to go. Turn this back around. So the first thing I'm going to do is demo this ceiling and replace it. I think what I'll put up is OSB, which is like a cheap, you guys probably know what it is. It's a cheap wallboard. They use it for roofs, as sheeting for roofs, sometimes as sheeting for the outside of a house before you put the siding up. And it's probably the least expensive choice I have. I could go with wallboard, you know, that Jimson wallboard, but that stuff is real specialized. You need somebody who really knows what they're doing if you're gonna, you know, have that put up. And I think we're going to be going kind of by hook or by crook, just having friends help us. So I think the OSB is the right choice. And of course I'll hit that with a sealant before it goes up. And then once I've got a solid ceiling, I am going to do this. What do you think about that tile? I love that tile. I think that's the perfect choice. Now, it is also possible that I am going to use a wallpaper that kind of looks like tile. Hanging it is much more difficult. I've hung ceiling paper before, and it's a task, right? But it's also much less expensive. So I'm not quite sure which way I'm going to jump on that. It'll depend on how much everything else costs. Then once my ceiling and my my crown molding is up, then I can start working my way down the walls, get all of that done, all the painting and papering and stuff, and then work on the sink. Now let me show you the sink. All right, so this is my sink set area. Just that used to be a cabinet. I pulled off the drawers. I was going to demo the whole thing. I never got around to it. I'm thinking about not demoing that and doing that deal where you have like a skirt, a fabric skirt around it, and ripping off this countertop and putting in, I would love to put in marble, but I don't want to spend that money. And of course I would do it over here and over there as well. Those are really the only three counter spaces I have. I'm thinking about using pink tile, 6" by 6" glossy pink tile. Now, I already have enough of that glossy pink tile to do this entire kitchen and more. And the way we got it was Grant had gone to pick something up from somebody somewhere. I can't remember what it was. And the guy had all this tile out by the curb, and Grant asked him about it, and the guy said, well, I'm just getting rid of it. Hopefully somebody will come and take it. And of course, Grant swooped in and grabbed that pink tile and brought it home for me because he knows I love pink, and I thought that was so sweet. Anyhow, that pink tile with a tight white grout would be a real nice solution. And I think what I would do is I would match the tile with a contrasting cove. You know how the edges of your tile have that cove piece that's like this. I'm thinking about buying a contrasting one that's maybe in ivory with perhaps a design, like a stamped or molded design, something that looks old-fashioned. So I'm thinking about, that's how I'd finish it off, and I think it would look really good. So there you go. That's what I want to try to complete by the end of the summer. And I think I'm being a little bit optimistic. but we shall see. All right, that's all I have for you today. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.